yes, TNA was pretty good last night. I enjoyed it tremendously. Some interesting things happened. Some not so interesting things happened. You know, there was good, there was bad. But overall, I think the show was pretty solid. We got to see the Nasty Boys make their TNA wrestling debut against Eric Young and Kevin Nash. Now the interesting thing about this match was, number one, that the Nasty Boys were wrestling, but two, Sags actually didn't do that bad. Brian Knobbs did about as well as a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest could do. But Sags actually showed a little bit of power in his match. And another thing, they freaking won! Like, what the hell? Wow. But, you know, I really thought that match was good. I really thought that when they actually did wrestle, that it would be like a complete and utter failure. But what was most shocking was that it wasn't. It wasn't a great match, but it definitely wasn't a terrible match. Well, we got to see good old AJ Styles and Ric Flair to begin the show. They did their little promo. AJ Styles as a heel. It's my first time seeing him as a heel. He cut his little promo trying to act heel. He did alright. With the Nature Boy by his side, he gets points just for that. You know, Ric Flair came out first. He was styling a profile like he always does. Two lovely ladies on his arm, strutting his stuff, spitting the game, doing what he does best. Of course, then AJ Styles comes after that. He's got a lovely lady on his arm as well. He gets in there, cuts a promo. I think he did alright as a heel. I mean, it's my first time seeing him. I didn't see him the first go around. Then he started stealing lines from the Nature Boy. You know, I'm the jet flying, limousine riding, kiss stealing, wheeling and dealing son of a gun. It was kind of alright. We also got to see Madison Love take on Angelina Love. Or Madison Rain. Did I say Madison Love? Anyways, Madison Rain take on Angelina Love in a squash match. Angelina Love just totally pwned her ass. Now, Madison Rain looked fucking unbelievable. Her wrestling attire suited her perfectly. I'm not too sure what Angelina Love was doing with her wrestling gear. Don't get me wrong, she's good looking, but I think she could have done just a little bit better on that. But those are just clothes. You know, they can always come off. We got to see the newly crowned tag team champions Hernandez and Matt Morgan take on the British Invasion. They defended the titles and won. Got to see Mick Foley looking for Eric Bischoff. Kind of entertaining. He was looking for him the whole night pretty much. I'll get to the rest of that part at the end of the video. But we also got to see Hogan come out and basically talk about the band, about how Waltman and Hall, you know, he's not playing around with these jabronis. If they're all going to be his jokesters, then they need to get to stepping. And he pretty much had security kick them out. So I don't know if that's just part of the storyline or if he really did kick them out. You know, it's hard to say. It's definitely part of the storyline. I'm sure they'll be around for many more weeks to come. But now the coolest thing about the show, the very end, yeah, Hogan indeed booked another match for Kurt Angle and AJ Styles. Yes, I have to agree with Mr. WWE Update. They are throwing this match down our throat. I don't know how many times we've seen it in the last 2 months, but the match was a heel match. You know, AJ Styles is a heel taking on Kurt Angle. You didn't see any crazy stuff in the ring. It was kind of a dull match, to be honest. But the end is what totally flipped everybody over, you know, on their heels. But basically what happened, Angle had the ankle lock on AJ. AJ reversed it. As soon as AJ reversed it and put Angle in the ankle lock, Earl Hebner rang the bell. Very, very, very reminiscent of the Montreal Screwjob. Kurt Angle got pissed immediately. Hogan comes out. He starts cussing, dropping F-bombs left and right. I mean, they were everywhere. And he was cussing, cursing. He was like, this is BS. He spat in Hogan's face, just like Bret did Vince. It was very realistic. I kind of thought right off the bat, though, it was all part of the storyline. Angle was like, I can go back to Vince, I can go back to the WWE, screw this, I don't need this, fuck TNA, fuck you, Hogan. And then he just says, I quit. So, I'm sure Angle might be taking some time off, I don't know. Hell, he could be back at the next week's show. Then, we got to see Eric Bischoff walking down the rampway with blood trickling down his face because he had a talk with Mick Foley in his office right before that, and the cameras couldn't see the talk because it was personal. But apparently, I guess Mick Foley busted him open. Eric Bischoff comes right into the ring, grabs the mic, says, Mick Foley, you're fired. So we had Kurt Angle quitting, and then we had Mick Foley getting axed. So it made for a very interesting ending to the show. I enjoyed it. Thought it was pretty good. Fucking nasty boys. Are we going to see them take on Team 3D? I'm sure we will. But those are my thoughts on TNA. Like I said, I thought the show was decent. The ending was pretty interesting. I kind of don't like how TNA is throwing around the WWE name left and right. Talking about Vince, talking about the WWE openly. I don't think that's very wise. They should kind of keep it, you know, on a hush-hush. We know that the WWE is competition to them and vice versa. They don't need to be throwing around that name every week like they do. But maybe they're going somewhere with that. Who knows? But that's enough for me. This is Gold Dizzy. That's my TNA review. You guys, peace out.